Hello.
Okay.
Great to see you
Hi.
guys. Admitting some other folks. Welcome. Oh, good to see everybody. Mary, Stuart, nice to see you back.
It's nice to see everybody too. Thanks.
I like Karen's sign behind you, Karen. You have the relax sign. That's a good one. Good reminder.
I'm on my porch, which has a beach theme, and I tried to put many things on this porch that say relax. Maybe will remind me to. Some days doesn't seem like it, but you know how that goes.
Yep, that's right.
Yes.
Ah, well, welcome. So good to see all these faces. I am Iris from Cashmere Goat, and this is a very first Finish Along meetup, summer 2025. So welcome to the Finish Along. It's so great to see some faces from near and far, and folks I haven't seen in a little while, and maybe even a new face or two. So great, great, great times. So as you know, the Finish Along is our chance to get some work done on maybe some projects that we've set down for a while, maybe some projects that we've needed, maybe a little extra oomph to get back to it, or just, the companionship on our Wednesdays. We'll have about 2 a month of these meetups, and, just continue that awesome community that we've built here in this virtual space together. Eileen, did you just raise your hand?
No.
No, that wasn't. Okay.
Accidentally, I guess.
That's okay. That's okay. Good. So, for tonight, I thought it might be fun to do a little bit of a introduce yourself, where you're from, and maybe what is your first priority for this Finish Along. Maybe 1 or 2 of your top priorities. And then if you don't want to, that's okay too. We're not big on rules. We're not big on forced participation here. So we'll just take it as we have it and make the space for people who want to contribute. Oh, anybody want to start? Mary Ellen, nice to see you.
Hi. I'm supposed to give my name, or I forget
Like
you
you
said
could give
it.
your name. Yeah, that's okay. Give your name and where you're joining us from, and what's your top or 1 or 2 priorities for the
That's right.
Finish Along.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mary Ellen Mulhern from Media, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Philadelphia. And I have 2 things. I have a sock, I have 1 done,
Nice.
and I'm working on the other one, which is almost done.
Okay.
And I pulled out this hipster that I started, I think last summer, and I thought, oh, I really like that. So I'm really happy I found it.
It's a beautiful green. Hold it right back up for us again. Yeah.
It is pretty.
What's your yarn?
It's Malabrigo Rios, and I think the color's lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done some things with that color. I love that.
Mhm.
So pretty in that pattern.
Great. Yeah, that'll be great. What's the wingspan of that? How big does it get?
It's big. I've made a couple of them before. It's my comfort knitting, 83 inches from side to side.
Okay.
So but it's on size 8 needles, and a lot of it's garter stitch. So it's really a pretty quick knit.
Wonderful. Thank you. Great to have you here again. It'd be weird if you weren't with us, Mary Ellen. You're really a staple of our
Happy to
online
be
meetups
here.
now. Anybody feel like going next?
Hello.
I will.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I am Karen Brown. I am from Yarmouth, Maine. Been to the goat several times, and my finish along is it's a take apart actually, from my first knit along, and I'll show you the pattern. This is the Carbeth cardigan that we did almost 2 years ago, I think.
Yep.
And I made it, and I made it a little longer because I didn't really want it as short as she designed it. And then when I put the button bands on, I did not allow for the extra length. And I don't know why, didn't really think about it, just put it together. And of course, it didn't look right. So I decided if I was taking it apart anyway, I would like to make it even longer. So we were talking about it last week on the end of the Love Note knit along, and Iris was nice enough to share a video with me. And so here it is, getting taken apart. So it's kind of that video was really helpful, Iris, but here's the ribbing, and you actually put the ribbing like this, and then you figure out where you want to actually cut and put a much smaller needle through all the stitches all the way across. So this is a size 1 needle. This is bulky yarn. I'm not sure, it must have been an 8 or 9 that I used on the sweater. So you put this needle all the way across, and then you just snip the first stitch over here and then take it apart. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I've got to remove the button bands and then make it longer, redo the button bands with that additional number of stitches. And hopefully it will work.
Yay.
Great.
Way to go, Karen.
It's
You're
a little bit
brave.
scary taking it apart like this. Like, what if I didn't do this right and all of a sudden it just comes apart? But so far, so good.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
And you'll wear it, you know, it'll be
Yeah.
right. You're making it right, and that's worth the
I've
investment.
tried to wear it and it just wasn't right. And it wasn't comfortable, and I didn't like the puckering on the button bands. So yeah, hopefully it will be better now. And I'm happy to be here.
Yay, so glad to have you. Let's see. Next, anybody feel like?
Hello.
Hi, Gwen.
Hi. I am still working on the baby blanket. It's gotten longer, about twice the size it was last time I showed.
Nice.
It's getting there.
Pretty.
So pretty.
And I really need to work on it, but I've kind of given myself a little bit of reprieve because the baby's coming 6 days earlier than when they said it's a planned birth. So she goes in Monday as opposed to the 22nd. So I'm like, it's summer. They're not going to need a blanket for the baby right away. So it's okay if I don't have it done by the day he's born. So, but I'm looking forward to meeting him and looking forward to finishing the blanket for him.
Yay. Beautiful. And nice to ease off on that pressure that we put on ourselves too. Good call.
Absolutely.
Oh, let's see. Who else might like to pop in
I'll
for a
go.
little intro? Oh, look, I saw Eileen, and then we'll do Teresa after that.
Okay.
Hi, Eileen. Welcome.
Hi, Iris. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I've been to the Cashmere Goat when I visit our friends Barbara Bittner and Gibson
Aw.
When I saw this email, I know I need help, so I thought, "Oh, just the right spot to go." I am in Philadelphia. I live in the East Falls section of Philadelphia. And I have two things. One is sweater for my husband that I started years ago. Has become a bit of a
Oh,
contention, vote of contention, I guess, because I just can't seem to get back to it.
yep.
So
Beautiful
I
though.
have the back done, and I have part of the front done. I just got to the point I have 3 different charts and all these ways of tracking my progress, and I just put it away. But I really want to finish it. So I'm looking for, I thought that this would be a good way to be inspired and motivated to get back to it. So I
It's
need to
really
obviously do,
it's
is
so
it fun?
beautiful. Tell us about the pattern and designer.
It's an old pattern. It's, I don't know the designer, but it's really an old pattern I had gotten from a yarn shop. This is like 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just stunning.
I think it's a French pattern. Anyway,
Hmm.
and the thing is, the sleeves have the same patterning on them too. So when I get to that point, I just want some advice as to whether to stick with that patterning for the sleeves or not. Anyway, so that's one. This is the main one. I
The
can,
main one.
yes, this is my priority. If I can, other things come up that are more fun to do and so
We
easy to say.
understand.
I know you do. I know I'm in good company. And then the other thing is a mitered blanket
Hmm.
with
Oh.
Pretty.
Oh, wow.
So
so
pretty.
I was very enthusiastic about making a big blanket. And then I kind of slowed down. But this is Malabrigo worsted
Nice.
in the English rose and anniversario.
Mm.
So I want to add 3 more rows, I think.
Beautiful.
Anyway,
3 more rows
so
of your mitered strip. So 3 more strips.
yes.
Okay.
And
That's-
this is not the most portable thing, but it is pretty easy and quick to do. So again, just staying with it
Mhm.
is a challenge for me.
Well, we'll be here cheering you on. A question. So when you're making those strips, they are portable when you're doing the strips, yes?
Well, actually, I pick up stitches
Oh, okay.
and
Yep.
I pick up the stitches and then knit from there. So yes, I'm carrying that whole blanket,
Well, hopefully
holding
you
the
can
whole blanket.
you can blast your AC on and
Yes,
oh my goodness.
I
Well, that's
know.
great. Glad you're joining us, Eileen.
Thank
It's nice
you.
to have a new face here for us. It's
Looking
awesome.
forward to it. Thanks so much.
Teresa S, how's it going?
Hey there. I'm Teresa. I'm from Virginia. And any projects I'm working on this summer, I won't just be trying to finish them, but I will also be starting them this summer. I have managed to not have any that I've squirreled away, but what I do squirrel away is yarn. And I make sure that I've earmarked it for projects. So I've got a bunch of plans, but I need to actually execute on those apparently, and not just buy the yarn. So one project that I just finished this weekend was the West Knits Yarn Along, the first shawl.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, very
Oh
pretty.
That's
my
beautiful.
goodness.
That is really
Wow.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Good
gorgeous.
color
So-
choices. I like
That
your
was-
colors.
That was a lot of fun, but a lot of different stitch patterns, and so I guess to give us a break from that, for the second shawl, it's pretty simple.
Oh, okay.
So started that on Monday, and I'm going very fast on that one, because it is so simple. So having fun with that, and the kind of different experience from the last one. And then, you know, I'm getting new yarn for it. They're sending me yarn every month, but I do need to address the yarn in those cabinets. So I will, after this one, be starting something that I've got squirreled away there.
Tell us about the shawl that you're working on right now. So it looked like garter. Is it gonna be mostly garter or what?
Yeah, it's mostly garter. It's like got those
Mm.
short rows to
Mhm.
Make those like holes. But mostly it's garter and short rows, and then there's a bit of a border. But pretty
Cool.
simple, especially for
Is that
Stephen
Stephen
pattern.
West? Is that a
Yeah.
Stephen West? I think I did that one with.
This
yarn.
one's new. It's for the this summer's Yarn Along.
Huh. Because I did one
Cool.
like that and it had holes in it and it was yarn that looked like a watermelon.
Oh.
So the holes actually worked.
Worked
Perfect.
as like the seeds or
Yeah, and the yarn actually had, I'll have to bring it one time. There were little bits of black, so when you knitted it, it actually looked like a watermelon.
Oh, that's
Oh,
very
that's
cool.
awesome. Anybody else want to introduce yourself and your project?
One sec.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi. I'm Vicky from Lexington, Kentucky, and I spend some of my year in Georgetown, Maine. And we were just up there over Memorial Day weekend, but I did not make it to Cashmere Goat, Iris. I'm sorry. But I did go to Halcyon because they were open and hadn't been in there since before COVID.
Great.
But anyway, my first thing I'm going to finish, you're all going to laugh. If you did the grid Gambit, I have one piece of yarn at the end that's about 6 inches long that needs to be woven in, and that's it.
Yeah, we
for
love some
you.
low-hanging fruit. Yay, Vicky.
Vicky, I still have 30 rows to go on my Gambit, so I'm impressed with your little piece just hanging out.
And then I have my Scudic Bay cardigan that you've all witnessed. I just need to block it and weave the ends in. And then I have my, I think I referred to this last time you saw it as my tube top, which is getting longer. So the Velichor by Andrea Mowry. And tonight is my last local sweater workshop class for the summer. So I'll be leaving again early to go work on this. It's a fun knit because it's easy to memorize the pattern, but I actually watched the clock and it took me about 25 minutes to go around one time.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it's, shall we say tedious maybe? I don't know. And then and then the other one I wrote down that's actually in progress and I don't have it upstairs with me is the Casapinka powder wrap. And that's a bulky yarn on big needles. And so I just need to finish it. So, and it'll be a big shawl, which usually when I make a shawl, I go back and I look at the person in the picture and I say, they must be like the size of a 5-year-old because it fits me like a scarf. It fits them. They're all
Absolutely.
wrapped up in it. So I found one that's actually going to be bigger for me. So I'm excited about that.
Yay. Oh, great. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here with us again.
Yeah, and I'll just say now, so I don't interrupt later, that I'll be leaving like right before you sign off. So I'll say bye now, but I'll still be
Okay.
here.
Well, glad you can squeeze us in with your
Oh, yes.
other knitting commitments on a Wednesday evening. Awesome. We'd love to see you.
I think I should go after
Yeah.
Vicky
Yes, you
because
should. I was
my
wondering if you would.
yes. So I decided that worksheet was really helpful that Iris sent out to organize because I do have a pile of like so close to be finished things. So I had a cowl that all I had to do was seam it up. So that's what I just did. This is Andrew Mowry's the shift.
The shift, yep.
Yeah. So I finished my first thing in the finish along just while we were on this call.
Yay!
So I'm planning on the calls to just do a lot of things that have like little nagging pieces. So the other thing was tried to make these felted baskets. The color is not coming out here, but to put inside wicker baskets. But that one doesn't stand up well, so I'm planning to like sew it to the edges. And then when I go in person, because I'm in Topsom, Maine. So when I go in on Sundays, I'm working on my bigger project to finish, which is the Velichor that Vicky just showed, which I started in November to work on a warm weather vacation in December and then didn't pick it up again until this week. So, but I do like
Awesome.
that the pattern is memorizable as well. And then someone was wearing it at the finish along at the store on Sunday as well. So it's a good one if someone's looking for a summer top to do.
It's funny that like we haven't we hear patterns come and go, but just like in the span of 1 week, 3 people with Velichor, it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a new pattern, but yeah, still popular. Anybody else? Hi, Jenny.
Hi,
Jenny,
honey.
good to see you.
How are you?
Good.
So you've heard of a horse with no name. This is a bear with no face.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
I made them. It's an Arne and Carlos pattern. And it's for my new great nephew, William Joseph. But the face is always the last part because I have to kind of get to know the bear a little bit. And I have to, so he'll have a little nose here and then a smile that comes out here and the eyes are up in here. So I very, very carefully look at the photograph on the pattern to see like, okay, it was above this stitch and went as far as that stitch because you can't mess up the face of a lovey, you just can't. You just can't. So so he sits in the rocking chair, he's just waiting. He's waiting, he's getting a little impatient,
He's adorable.
So I think I've made that bear. This might be the 5th time.
Wow.
So this baby, we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, but my nephew's a big Yankees fan. So that's why it's navy blue and white, because I figured boy or girl, it would be fine. And I'm Ginny, and I'm from Maplewood, New Jersey. And then my other, like, again, details. I just finished this. Iris picked out the one for me. It's hard to see because it's really big. But it's a Julie Weisenberger pattern that was in Vogue Knitting. And the yarn is
Millstone tweed.
thank you, dear. Thank you. And so I love Julie's patterns. Coco knits because she does the English tailoring. So in your shoulders, you got this lovely, I'd put it on, but it's 81 degrees here. So the only thing I have to do, I did the buttonholes and buttonholes came out okay. And so now I just have to sew the buttons on. I have really great buttons and the pockets came out okay. And I did do it's really interesting because you do the ribbing and then you do 6 rows of stockinette so that it rose. So I did the Icelandic bind off because I thought, well, it's going to roll up. That kind of looks like an I-cord. So I thought that would work. So, yep, just have to do the buttons on that.
I feel like you're going to just live in that cardigan in the
I actually had it on the other day because it was cold here. So no buttons or anything. And
Beautiful.
new one, thank you. And it's all your fault because you picked out the yarn. So the new one is, this is actually upside down. It's the Jennifer Shiels Toland pattern. In the
This
yarn
is
is North Light Fibers, but they have gone out of business. They were from Block Island, and the local store here in Summit got all her yarn, got all their yarn. So the color is crocus, and the pattern is Seaside Stroll. Let me see. I don't know if it'll be. Hold on.
that is such pretty yarn. And what's the fiber content of that yarn?
I don't know if you could, that's the pattern. Seaside Stroll. That is a very good question. I just ran to my local yarn store because I had gotten, no, it's not that. I had gotten 5 skeins and I decided I needed a 6th. It's called Spring Street and its color is crocus, and I think it's all wool. It's actually Falkland. I think it's Falkland wool. So
Beautiful.
yeah. So I think I'm going, you can make it in a short or a long sleeve. So,
Nice.
you know, like any of Jennifer's patterns. So I think I'm going to make it in a long sleeve, which is why I just went and got skein number 6 to make sure I had enough. So here he is. Big.
Great color.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be good. So.
Yay, well, welcome. And
Yeah.
also I really commiserate with the, you know, putting a face on a thing that you make. It's very stressful. I definitely did some doll making, stuffy making when my kids were little, and I swear it would be like I would take this deep breath and then like you know, and even like try to place a pin sometimes to get those eye placements, and then you'd be like, oh my god, that's terrible, this like bear looks evil all of a sudden, what did I do? And then you're like, can I move it over a micro here? Wait, now they're slightly off, and like it's just so like it's a lot, and you do have to live with the little creature for a little bit, and you might have to look at it, try it, and oh, it's hard.
It's also like in the pattern, they use pink for the nose. And I've done that, but it starts to look like a pig instead of a bear. And the ears are kind of floppy. So I make the ears on a smaller needle to kind of bring it down a little bit. But what I did, if anybody's a sewer, you know, those Dritz marking pens, one of them, it goes away when you hit it with water and the other one just disappears from air. So I have started actually drawing on with the one that disappears in the air. I draw the eyes on there, so they're balanced. I should find like an oval template and just use that. It'd be perfect. But by next week, I don't know when I'm going to see them, so they don't live around here. So, and then my future projects, I just bought. The girl next door is having a baby, and going to make a car seat blanket that I saw, and this is simply worsted. So that'll be pretty.
Nice.
Because I don't know about Maine, but you can't have your children in, this would be ridiculous in Maine, in a snowsuit, in a car seat.
I know, yeah, it's the truth, apparently. It seems like crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think in Maine, you could probably get around that. In the middle of winter, you want me to take the child out of a snowsuit.
It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Nisi, I saw you nodding when we were talking about getting those eyes on. Have you made some stuffies yourself? You got experience there?
Oh, yes. Actually, I just sent 30 some with a church to an Africa mission trip of dolls and bears.
Wow.
And they can be the cutest things until you put that face on. And then, like you say, you turn it into a monster.
Right? Right? Or they don't look happy.
No. And it sounds so simple, but it's not.
Right.
And
And
then
Nisi, are you joining? You're joining us from Tennessee? Did I remember
Yes,
correctly?
yes.
Okay.
Right. I'm just
Nice.
north of Nashville, Tennessee. And
Well,
one of
glad to
my
have you.
projects, thank you.
I was just going to say, glad to have you back.
Yes. One of my projects is actually from a friend who's pulling out her stack of projects from the closet that's been there for who knows how long. And so I'm helping her to finish some. And last week I finished this big shawl she had started. And when I took it back to her, I thought she was going to have a heart attack. She was so excited. And then this one, she just brought this one, which is a long scarf. And she
Oh,
normally
wow.
has patterns, and the yarn labels and all, but somehow this one didn't have anything. So I've just matched what she was doing, but I'd love to know what the yarn is because it's really, really soft and fabulous yarn. But in the whole bag, I couldn't find a single label.
Wow.
She
Well, you're
uses a
so
lot of Malabrigo, but this doesn't seem like Malabrigo. But
well,
it's a
you're
fun
a
one.
you're a good neighbor, a good friend to finish someone else's unfinished projects.
Well, she's very good to give me yarn, which she's traveled the world over, and every place she goes, she brings back a bag of yarn. And so now she's trying to rein it in. And so she's given me a ton of yarn. So it's the least I could do is help her finish some of her projects.
So sweet. Well, welcome. Glad to have you back.
Thank you. And someone in your shop helped me a day or two ago. One of my projects for the summer is a hat kit that a friend just brought back from Iceland. And it had the mittens pattern, but you had to go online to get the hat pattern. And when I did that, it was all in some other language, and I couldn't figure out how to get the pattern. So someone there at your store figured out to go on Ravelry, and you could get it in English.
Very cool.
So that's also one of my. I haven't started it yet, but it's one of my summer projects.
I wonder if it was Miranda that emailed you about that. She's pretty great.
And quick. So thank you to whomever it was.
Yay. Well, great. Anybody else want to give a little intro? Oh, I see Pat. Hi, Pat.
Yeah. So I'm Pat, and I'm in South Carolina, and I have 2 or 3 dogs that are trying to join the party here today. Back up, sweetie. So I finished my Sunday morning wrap that I made out of the Jacob wool.
Oh, pretty.
That is just absolutely yummy. What wonderful yarn. And once it was blocked, it just oozed right out. It's so great. I love it. So that one is finished.
Cozy, cozy.
And then, like Teresa, I have a closet full of yarn that I've got plans for. This is supposed to be Iris's sweater. I'm going to get to that. And this is supposed to be another one of the summer cotton sweaters. This is Remix Light that I had left over from when we did the anchor sweater, and I did a couple of others. And I have this wonderful yarn from Norway, I think. I think so. That I've used to make some other things, but I was going to make a kind of like a poncho, and it didn't turn out, and so I frogged it and wound it up. So that one's sitting there waiting to be something. Here's my last what is that called? Hold on. Grid gamut.
Oh,
all I need to do is sew it
Very
together.
pretty.
So that'll be my first thing to do, so that I've got that one finished. I just was so tired of the grid gamut by the time this was finished. I said, put this one aside and go do something else.
Yep, smart.
In January, we did the what was the name? I'm so bad about names, y'all.
The Dog Star?
Yes, thank you. And I had my sleeves done
Pretty.
both of them before
Mhm.
I had surgery on my hand on the first week of January, so I wasn't able to finish that sweater. So that's on my list to finish. That'll come
Great.
second. And I'm right now working on my second love note.
Mm.
And I
Color.
just
Wow,
worked my
pretty.
way. I'm just almost through the second time doing the pattern. Yesterday, I had finished it and was well on my way when I looked at it and I said, you know, something doesn't look right.
Uh-oh.
Somehow, way back in the very first
Oh.
pattern repeat, my sticky note jumped down about 4 rows. And I had this little bitty triangle up there above the leaf, and I'm going, what is that? Well, turns out I skipped the whole pattern. So I had to frog it all out and start over again. So I'm back to almost where I started.
Okay.
Oh dear.
This way.
It's
So
pretty
I'm
though.
almost finished and on my way again. It works up fast, as y'all know. So those are the things that are on my list for right now.
Beautiful, Pats. Thank you for being here. And as always, you're just like, you have so many interesting things you're working on, and yay.
Yay.
Pat might be featured in an upcoming newsletter. Just saying, keep your eyes on your email. Anybody else want to say hello? Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Nice to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't stop knitting, but I just wasn't going to do another sweater. So right now I'm working on something that's called the Bright Side. And I don't know if other people have seen these skeins of yarn. They're called a color burst skein. So they just put in a section that's a different color than the base. And this pattern calls for you to, when you hit the color on your left-hand needle, you purl if you're on the right side and you knit if you're on the wrong side. So can you see?
Oh,
that's neat.
okay.
It's just kind of fun. And it's just like a triangular, you know, you're just increasing on one side. So, and this is Wonderland yarn. I love their yarns. They're really squishy and really nice. I don't have quite as much as the pattern calls for, but I think it's going to be enough.
Is that a worsted weight?
No, it's a DK weight.
DK.
Yeah. And this is something for our fair project. I'm already working on stuff for that. So that's, and then I have 2 other things on my needles. I just started Samantha Guerin's Moontower. I don't have it out here with me, but that is something I'm working on with some yarn that I bought quite some time ago from Jaegerspun, who's now out of business. So I like that. It's a blend with some silk and merino, I think. And then I'm going to take apart my sleeves on my Dog Star because they're too long and you can't see my color work. So I did it top down, the sleeves top down. So I might have to talk to Karen about that little thing she just did. Maybe I can take apart the sleeve in the middle instead of
well,
at the bottom.
I'm taking it apart, and yeah, it's not going great.
Oh.
So somehow it's not easy to get, and it would be easier on a sleeve because it's not as big.
Right.
But going all the way across, apparently I did not count properly. So currently I've got 2 needles going here and trying to make sure I don't drop any of these stitches. But yes, Mary, I can share the video with you. It's a really good video that Iris shared with me. So who did that video, Iris? I don't remember.
It's Elizabeth Smith Knits.
Oh,
Elizabeth
okay.
Smith, Maine designer, and it's
Yeah.
like a really in-depth, like 30-minute video. It's
Yeah.
so helpful. And I mean, I know for myself when I've had that situation where I'm like, I always try to pick up, like, you know, to make myself feel better and pick up with like with a second needle or something. And invariably, I'm always getting off of the row
Yep.
unless I'm like right up next to a ribbing or something
Yep.
where I can really
Yep.
see. And so I like at this point, I'm like, is it worth my time to try to pick up all those dang stitches, or do I just, you know, I know how to pick up a drop stitch if I drop one, you know, and do I just go for it and do the frog thing? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
just-
giving it a whirl, so we'll see how it all comes out.
I just would prefer not to redo that cuff work and
No,
everything.
Right.
So if I can just get it, I think the only problem is I was working on decreases, right, to get it
Yep.
narrow enough. So it might not work, but I have a few things going on next week and the week after, so I think I'll wait until after those things are done to pick up and use my brain so much. I'll just knit what I have on my needles. So, oh, and I'm from Yarmouth, Maine, so just down the road from the goat. And I'm just also going to give a plug because I know you have something going on Saturday, Iris, for Knit in Public Day. But Karen and I decided that we were just going to meet. We have a very nice little Main Street thing here in our town. And we put it out on our community page that the knitters are going to meet on Saturday morning from 9 until 11. So rain or shine.
Well,
So.
I hope somebody takes a picture of your group and maybe you can
Okay.
email it to me.
Sure. And Heather, if you're in Topsom and you're not busy, pop on down. So.
Yep, we'll be there.
Yep.
We're going to see how many people stop and say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Is there like a set, like where is there like a pavilion or something? Like,
yeah,
what is that?
So I don't know if you know Main Street in Yarmouth, they had to rebuild the road that goes over our Main Street on Route 1 a few years ago. And so they put in tiered seating and on one side, and there's lights and people hold concerts under the bridge and there's different groups that meet there. It's just kind of a weird thing. So during COVID, we have a local group that is a steel drum group, and they practiced outdoors all through COVID under the bridge. So it's kind of a little community thing. It's kind of weird, but
very cool.
Yeah. So the kids really like it. They ride their bikes and skateboards up and down it a lot too, but they won't be doing that while we're there.
It sounds like a very New England thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. So thanks.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
And your yard always looks so pretty. As you're sitting outside knitting, I'm always like, wow, that looks so nice.
Oh, it's lovely outside today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So this is my neighbor's house back there. So my gardens look really nice right now, but I can't get
you have the
Wi-Fi if I
afternoon.
sit.
Yeah, like the afternoon shade is kind of nice.
Oh yeah, it's
too.
perfect. Yeah. So thank you.
Well, anybody else want to say hello? Oh, hi, Judy. Judy, good to see you.
Well, I'm the second person that's working on the dog star. I put it aside, and I noticed that the two sleeves were not exactly the way I wanted them to be. So just before this now, I frogged the one sleeve, so they should be better, more matching. Because I had started it up here, and I just noticed something was wrong.
Oh dear.
So that's okay. I don't mind doing that. And then I have a little bit to do on some socks. I have 2 pair of socks I need to work on. And these are,
those are
yeah, those are the ones.
those are the ones.
Those are the
Rye.
ones.
Is it,
Remember the name.
is it the rye? No.
Yeah, that's
No.
right. It's the rye.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Can you
So-
hold it up again?
Yeah, hold it up again. Mm,
see,
Look
let me
at
get-
that.
really nice.
Cool.
and I'm having a little bit of trouble with the toe. So I wanted to ask, you said there was an easier way to do a version of the Kitchener stitch for the toes.
Yes.
And what is
Yep.
that?
So it is called the Finchley graft.
That's right. The Finchley.
Graft, and I believe it was Roxanne Richardson who
Okay,
Good.
that's right. That's right.
she's so good, and this was a method that she kind of unearthed from some historical, maybe manual for machine knitting, I think. But she gives some good background. It's really cool, and definitely helps my brain not break Kitchener. I'm good enough at it now that but for years, if I got interrupted in the middle of it, God help me. I'd have to take the whole thing back out. I just wanted to say I tried my love note on, and just for a little sleeve fit, and I think I do need to go a little longer. Gosh.
Not much though.
Not too much. It's about 10, and I just wanted to try it, but I think I would like to go at least another inch.
Because you've
to
got
get
a
it.
cuff you need to put on there too, so you don't have
Ye-
terrible much to go.
Yeah, I don't still want to when it's right on your elbow. So
Yeah.
I just definitely want it a little below the elbow before I do my.
Yeah, mine's
Um,
about mid arm.
Yep.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's perfect.
I have one question. You had that pretty pink scarf on just now.
Yes.
What is that? Because it is really pretty.
Is that your
It's
pattern?
my new pattern.
Yay.
Oh, it's your pattern?
Is it out
It
yet?
is. Yep.
Oh,
It's
thank
not
you.
out yet. It's a little kerchief with a bit of brioche and a bit of garter, and I've been kind of playing around with this design this spring, and I've got testers who are testing it right now.
What's
And
it? What yarn weight is it?
So it's fingering,
For finger.
and
I have some.
and it only takes 35 grams of yarn or 150 yards, so it's perfect for using up some of those fingering
Yes.
skeins
Sock
we all
yarn.
have.
Yeah.
Sock yarn, whatever. So I'm having fun with it. It's a little bit
Well, let us know when it's available.
yeah, I will, probably the end of this month.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We should
Good.
have
Very nice.
add that
It's
to our
beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Aw. Well, thank you.
So Iris, let me
much.
ask a question. Since we're talking
Yes.
about videos that are available for various things, I know you always say, okay, I'm going to attach it to this wherever.
Yep.
The other day I was looking for something and I said, okay, now how do I find what she's attached and where they're posted?
It's so okay. Let me just I'm gonna try to pull up a YouTube so I can just do a quick screen share, because it is one of those kind of weird things where sometimes you can just, it depends if you're, I'm not hearing that.
Can you just put in the
Stop.
cashmere
Okay.
goat name and then supposedly everything will pop up?
Well, so what I'll do is I'll pull up one of our little videos. Let me find boop, boop, boop. Mhm. All right, so I'm gonna start this one and then pause it so we don't have to hear me talking. All right, so now I'm going back to Zoom, share, and so this will be weird because I'm sharing a screen of our meetup. How weird is that? Now it's very meta. But so if we're looking at this video,
Okay.
and if you come here to the more right here, you can see, okay, where does the time go? And if I click on more, that's where I put
Okay.
in all the little links to patterns or videos or whatever.
All right, so we
But
need to go to a video of our meetup.
Of our meetup.
Particular meetup. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yep.
find them attached there. Okay, I didn't know if there was like a page where it listed everything from that Cashmere Goat has posted. I guess not. So
No,
I
and
did
so
not know
like
that.
usually I'll put into, you know, when I do one of the emails, I'll pop in the recording, or you can check through our I'll make a new playlist for the finish along that will be on the Goats YouTube so that you can see that playlist, and then our recordings will be in there, and all the little juicy tidbits that we talk about.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know just enough to get myself in trouble.
Me too.
I did go ahead and watch some of the knit-alongs for the shift, which you did several years before I decided to make it, but it was very helpful.
Yeah, the shift was definitely it had some tricky parts, you know, for a lot of folks. It was the first time they'd done slip stitch knitting, and you know, it's a different rhythm.
Wasn't your husband doing one last summer when we went on the boat?
He just finished it.
But he started a year
Yes,
ago.
he did.
Good for him though.
Yep.
Good for him.
And he was so dear because he was like, well, I'm almost at I've got like one more row and then I'm binding off. And I was like, it's the I-cord bind off.
Yeah.
I was like, it is a little slow as bind offs goes. And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So he's working on a new project. He's got a hat he's making. Where some friends of ours are getting married to each other, and they've been together for quite a long time, and they found each other, you know, later, but they're finally tying the knot, and they're, you know, they don't need like stuff for their house, and they're pretty well set up. But we thought, since we both knit, maybe we would make the bride and groom a hand knit hat. So
fun.
He's underway with his hat, and I've got a plan. I've got some priorities before I get to the hat. The hat will be a July project because the wedding's at the end of July. So, yeah. Let's see. Teresa C, we haven't heard from you yet. Do you want to say hi?
Hi. Yes. I'm from Pine Bush, New York. I have lots of projects too that I also have things for Christmas that I have to get done. So I have a couple of things that are not started, but will get started. But before I show you the things I'm in progress, I have to share this I had leftover mohair from my love note, and it was just enough to make this little, it's called the Dew Scarf. Dew Scarf? Where did I put the, yeah.
Like DEW?
What is that? Like DEW. Oops, that's not it. Where did I put it? Yes, here we are.
Dew Scarf. Oh, that's so pretty.
And it comes in, like, you can use, so they give you a schematic, and they give you the directions where you can do a triangular shape, or you can do a sort of a trapezoid. And it's got this really pretty, let's see, so gauzy.
Oh,
yeah. And then they
like
show it. Yep, it's made with mohair. And then what they did is they did it by taking a ring, like take your ring and put it up here, so they made that with the leftover. So I was like, what am I going to do with this? And it happened to come up in one of the newsletters from one of the yarn. Actually, I think it was the Mother of Pearl.
Oh, cool.
It's either the Mother of Pearl or it was the Yarn Seller, and I'm not sure which one.
Yeah,
so that was cool. And then I got this yarn on Saturday because we have a baby shower before the end of the year, and I knit this up.
How cute.
I just have to put the button, block it and put the buttons on it.
Darling.
So that was cute. That is the cover page here. No, but it's oh, the name's not on here. I don't have that with me. Ugh. Anyway, you can make a long sleeve one too.
Cute.
So
adorable.
So that was that. I am still working on Harriet's hat, which I was working on in the fall. And Mary Ellen, you told me I might have some issues with it, and you were so right. That's why I'm still working on it. It went in timeout for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to do that. I struggled with that too, but
and it's pretty, and it's really not
beautiful.
that complicated, but for some reason, yeah, there's
What
something
is it?
about that shawly part that's like
Oh.
crazy.
That's pretty.
And then the other thing I'm working on is a vest. Let's see if I get a picture here. It's called this, I guess you say Sebasco by Amy Herzog. And it has this really cool little border. So that's the back. And then I have this border that's got this kind of cool stitch.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
And
like a starburst stitch.
Something like that. Yeah. Yep. And so I got the back done a while ago, and now I'm on the left front, and I've got the other front, and then I'll sew it together, and I'll be happy when that's done because I'll feel accomplished.
Yay.
Those are where I am right now.
Can you go back just real quickly to, so the dew scarf, tell us about like the stitch work pattern, like very lacy, very airy, but like how would you gauge it as like this would be accessible for a beginner or maybe like not?
I would say maybe not a beginner because it's hard to work with this on you work with it on a bigger needle, of course. But I would say probably not for a beginner.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
So if your needle isn't real sharp, it's kind of hard to work with that mohair and the finer lacy yarns to pick them up. I know I'm having trouble with, what's that one that we did that, hold on. Oh, come on.
I had to leave my chow goose and pull out my regular wooden, like my,
I don't know what I've done with it, but anyway, what's that scarf that, was it Marielle that had
the bateau mouche?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Having a difficult time with needles picking up that yarn on the beginning of the row.
Yeah. Needs to be, you have to have a sharper needle for sure to get in and pick it between the strands.
Yeah.
But I also found I was using my chow goose and they were too slippery. So I went to my knitted pride wooden needles that have a nice point on them, and that worked really well. So I wasn't like losing stitches along the way or having to hold so tight that my hands hurt.
Yeah, that's my challenge.
Has anybody ever used Prim? Prym?
No.
So that's what I'm working with, and I think it's a Scandinavian.
Are
so
they
sometimes they are these are size 4. They're 3.5s, and they're, I'm going to say plastic. That's probably not what they really are, but if you, I don't know if you can see, let me see, put it there. You see the tip?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
At the and I'm telling you, this is I think this is a fingering weight. It slides so nicely, and it's Arne and Carlos, again, I do like Arne and Carlos. They were sponsoring it, or they were being, paid to promote them or whatever. And Michael's had a kit that they did, and they get, I think, a 3, a 6, and an 8 or something like that in this kit. And so they don't have every single size, but I really like them. And the ones that I have that are size 7, they're kind of triangular, so they're made to ease your hand.
They're ergonomic.
Yes, that's a good word. Ergonomic. Very good. Very good. Trying to see.
I had seen Roxanne Richardson do a review of those.
Yeah. What did she think?
She was more of a not really in love with them, but could see where people would like them. Like for her, she didn't care for them, but she could see where people would find them useful for them. Was sort of her take. It was very neutral.
because I found the metals were too slippery. I was like
Yeah.
Goldilocks. The metals were too slippery. The woods were, and these were just right. So, hey, Iris, can I give a shout out to Mary Ellen?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Teresa. I'm sorry. Are you finished?
No, I'm done. That's fine. Yep.
So, Mary Ellen, back in October, you told us all about the fish lips heel.
It
Right?
wasn't me.
Oh, that might have been McLean, who's also from Pennsylvania, so good memory. But I think that was Beth, who was yes. Let me spotlight these beautiful socks. Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at
Oh,
those.
wow.
So they're
Those are
called
great.
Cup of Love. So I don't know if you can tell, but they're little coffee cups.
Oh,
Oh,
And it's
cute.
supposed to be the little smoke coming out, and if you see it makes a little heart.
cute.
So I did that with the fish lips heel. I think that's what it's called, fish lips heel. And the pattern calls for you to do 3 different colors. So I think if I were going to do it again, I'm going to give these to my son who likes kind of funky things. So I might have done the whole sock in this color, but you know what? He's young. He'll be fine. But this was it was a fun heel to work, and it came out very nice. It came out very
Really
nice,
nice.
even. And this was New Jersey has a wool walk in April, and the local store that I went to, the girl who dyes this yarn was there. She's from Southern Jersey, so they were mini skeins, which was just perfect. So it's called Cuppa Love, Cuppa Love.
Cute.
And it's socks by Jack, JAC, of Lattes and Llamas. And I found it on Ravelry.
Love it.
Yeah. So if you got a coffee lover in your family, I'll probably make another pair during Socktober, maybe longer. These are kind of short, but I was sure Mary Ellen who gave that heel.
Well, you remembered the Pennslannvania part, I think. But
Okay.
yeah, Beth's not here tonight.
Sorry. I was thinking of you, Mary Ellen, the whole time I was knitting it. So sending you good thoughts.
Well, they're beautiful.
You're the bear expert.
We're up at the top of the hour, but we haven't heard from Kimberly. Kimberly, do you want to say hello?
Hi.
Want to show us what you're working on? Because I know it's going to be fabulous.
It's called Vincent Stars, based off the Vincent van Gogh painting of stars. So this is the section of stars.
Oh wow.
And so it starts out with, it variegates with a light blue, then it goes to a medium blue, then it goes to a dark blue, and that's all garter stitch. And now I'm into the star part, which I'm in my second hue of yellow. So this is a darker yellow, and this is using the slip stitch like we did with the grid Gambit. So I have to go up to 298 stitches before I'm done.
Wow.
Whoa.
And I'm sitting at 243.
Close.
So this is how long it is.
Oh, wow.
Pretty long. And so I've taken it out once. I've taken, yesterday I took out 8 rows because I couldn't weave it up like I normally could. I couldn't weave it up because of the way that the stars are, they're not all lined up. They're like, okay, one row, they're slanted.
Yeah.
So I had to take out all 8 rows that I did yesterday. And so I got those all back in. And so now I'm like very diligently, when I do the coming back on the back side, the slip and the knit, to make sure that if I do forget to put it in the back and leave it in the front, I catch it sooner.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the only other thing that I'm going to be working on are my 2 blocks for June for the Barocco blanket for the year. I've got all my other blocks done through May. They're all done. So I've got the 2 blocks to do for June.
Nice.
So these are the only things that are on my plate for right now.
So was that a kit?
No, Barocco did a
No, the one
year-long-
you're working on now, the stars.
Yes, actually, somebody put this together. I bought it at the Fiber Frolic about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
And they put it together with, this is what it looks like finished.
Oh, cool.
And the yarn that they chose to do it with is, it's June Price Fiber Arts. It's 80% superwash merino, which is a very dark blue. That's the main color. And then with 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and it's 440 yards. And then it's Hill Sparkle Fingering by June Price, 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, 600 yards. So each one of the little things has glistening things in them. So if you move the, you'll see them shimmering like stars.
That's cool. That is very
and
cool.
at the time I bought it, my partner and I had done a diamond dot picture of Starry Starry Nights, and we dotted it, and we were like Vincent Van Gogh crazy. So I bought that during my Vincent Van Gogh craze.
Very cool.
I love it. Oh my gosh, it's really beautiful. I'm excited that you're working on that. It's gonna be gorgeous.
I'm hoping to give it away next week. So I've got, oh my God, I've got 8. I've got probably 45 rows left to go.
So this is a good reminder though, take pictures of the things that you finish because we are going to have some prizes, TBD, don't know what they are yet, but just document your finished projects. Teresa, I think yours, your Stephen West Shawl, you just finished it. It counts.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep a little track of with those pictures. I haven't quite figured out how I want folks to send them to me. I might have a new idea, but anyway, just for now, document, and so we can
I forgot I finished my second good Gambit after I had to go buy some more yarn.
Well, okay, great. It counts.
So it's all finished. It's ready to go to Vermont. So got it all done. But I was very bummed out that I did not have enough yarn when I really thought that I would. And it was the blue that I bought.
It was the Arroyo, right?
Yeah. And for some reason I had enough of the pink, but I did not have enough of the blue. So maybe I should have switched them and had the blue be the contrasting color, and have the pink being the main color. And I might have had enough yarn doing that, because I still had pink yarn left. And I had to buy a whole new skein to do the last to do the last part of it.
Well, hang on to it. You can use it when Iris's pattern comes out.
Yeah, it's true.
There you go.
No,
Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
I really like it.
Well, thank you guys so much for popping in this week, and be another couple weeks before I see you again. So not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. So happy knitting, and thanks for finishing along with us. And it's so inspiring to see everybody's motivation, and that's what keeps this thing going. You know, we got to encourage each other. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Happy
night.
knitting.
Good to see everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Happy knitting.
Mm.